Hansel and Gretel from South Korea. Here is the short plot summary from IMDb. After meeting a mysterious girl on a dark stretch of road, a young salesman is invited to a beautiful house with bizarre secrets and no way to escape. It was directed by Im Pil-sung, written by Kim Min-suk and Im Pil-sung, starring Chun Jung-myung, Yun Won-jae, Shim Yun-kyung, and Jin Ji-hee. Cinematography by Kim Ji-young, edited by Kim Sun-min, and music by Lee Byung-woo. It was released December 27th, 2007, with a runtime of 117 minutes. The way I feel is I already knew what I was going to be getting into, because if there's one thing about a Korean movie, it's going to be long. And usually I think it's warranted, or at least I'm like, you didn't waste my time. Maybe that was a mean comment what I said earlier. I think maybe the movie overstayed its welcome just a little bit, but well, I'll get into it. My review's overall positive. Okay, so here is the plot. Yun-soo crashes his car. He's on the phone with his girlfriend, and we get the sense, what I love about a Korean movie is I feel like they don't always hold your hand or anything when it comes to characters, their backstory, or how we're supposed to feel about them. Just from this phone call, we can tell this guy is probably kind of like a deadbeat, like doesn't, kind of irresponsible. And he sees something in the road, crashes his car, and comes to in this just like beautiful, luscious forest. Like they picked the best goddamn forest for this plot. Like immediately you're like, oh yeah, Hansel and Gretel could happen in this forest. And so he's wandering, it gets dark, and then a young girl in like a red, kind of like a Red Riding Hood looking getup named Young-hee finds him and says she's looking for her sister's hairpin, and leads him to this house that, like, the framing of the shot is so beautiful. It's right out of a storybook. Like, it's just beautiful. And like, there's a little pathway leading up to it, and it's like flanked by trees, and there's all these statues. Actually, I have a friend who lives in the mountains of North Carolina. Well, she's from there. And in college, I visited her, and her house was very similar. Like, you had to drive really out of your way to get to it. And they were like statues and like, beautiful plants and a gorgeous sunroom. And I just was like, oh my, like, you live here? Like, I had a really similar reaction of just like, oh, like you grew up, like you've lived here your whole life. And I mean, I came to learn that it was not, maybe kind of similarly, things are not always, just because something looks nice doesn't mean it's great to be there. But yeah, I had the exact same reaction where, Yun-soo is just like, what, like here? Okay. And we see that the house has a sign outside that says House of Happy Children. And he meets the family. I mean, it's so like, what I love, it's so kind of like oversaturated. Like the father's wearing this bright red, like button up, and there's just toys everywhere. There's like a Christmas tree. It really does just look like it's out of a fairy. Like the set design is just like so good in this movie. And already we can tell the vibe is like weird. Like, they make a point to show like a bead of sweat going down like the father's face, and the mom is kind of like scratching her neck, and the kids are just like, hey, they're really cute. Though the eldest son, Man-buk, he's a little bit intense. He just turned 13. We learn. And there's also the littlest girl. They found like the most just like cute kid, but also kind of like over the top kid for this actress. Like her cheeks are so chubby, and like she's got the cutest like, baby teeth. Like, oh my God, she's so cute. So the family welcomes him in, though they do seem a little bit overeager, like really like, well, come on in. No, we don't have a phone. Like, no, but you can stay. It's going to be okay. So um, it's kind of all overwhelming for him. And Yunsu wakes up in a child's bedroom. And then we see the most ominous title card that says day one. And I mean, this room, it's like, again, covered with toys, a lot of like hair. And I mean, like the rabbit symbolism. Like hares are pretty scary looking compared to bunnies, I think. And they really lean into that. I liked that. There was just a lot of paintings or sculptures or like masks everywhere. Um, so his cell phone has no service. He's feeling pretty worried about his girlfriend. When he goes to breakfast, like they lift up, the lids to the breakfast and it's all cupcakes and candy. And this, because going in again, I had no idea what this was going to be. I wondered first, like, oh, is the dad the bad guy? Like, is he? But then immediately when I just see all the cupcakes, I'm like, the kids are the bad ones. The kids are controlling this. Because the mom says that they eat like this because the children like to eat this way. And he's like, well, what are you guys going to eat? And she's like, oh, I already ate before this. It's just a really weird vibe. Like, the parents are nervously drinking tea and then the children just copy everything Yunsu does. And I really do like the character of Yunsu. Like, I think he's perfect, like perfect casting, because he really does just look like a young adult, and it's a great in between these like older, I mean, they're not like old, but parent like people, the children, and then him. I feel like it makes sense that the kids are immediately enamored with him as kind of like an older brother figure. So Yunsu says that he crashed because he was rushing to see his mother, who's in critical condition in the hospital. But that, honestly, it's okay because he isn't close to his mom, which I thought was like really funny. Because not to reveal too much about the inner workings of my life, but there have been times where I've revealed that certain family members have passed away. And when people are like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. And you're like, I mean, I'll be fine. But that's not really what people want to hear when you say that. And I've learned that the hard way. So now I'm just like, thank you. Thank you very much. Like, nobody wants to hear you go, I'll live. Win some, lose some. But Manbok the son really does not take kindly to this. And he says, having a mother is nice. And the mom, like, backs him up, like, kind of like holds on to his shoulders and is like, oh, let's just all settle down. Like you said, like the Twilight Zone episode, It's a Good Life. I don't remember that one. Is that one with an evil kid?
Yeah. And if you piss off the kid, he sends you to the cornfield.
Oh my God.
So you might know it from The Simpsons.
I was about to say, that reminds me of The Simpsons. Yeah, where they don't want to piss off Bart because
it's good that he did that.
And I do like that Yunsu, like, he doesn't really clock that Manbok is like maybe the ringleader. Like, that's what I got immediately. I was like, okay, this kid is the one to not piss off. But he just is like, you know what? I was out of line. You're right. Mothers are amazing. My bad. I just love this guy. I think he's a great character. So he's like, well, I'm about to head out. So he tries to go back to his car, but he gets lost in the forest. And he also encounters some very ominous red flowers. And also it gets dark, like very fast. And so he goes back to the house. Like, he's wandering and it is like what? I'm already back to the house? What the heck? So he asks for help. Like, can you guys help me tomorrow to get out of the forest? And Manbok, the son, volunteers to help him tomorrow. And there's just a lot of looks exchanged amongst the family where they're all kind of like, okay. And also, like, the dad tells him, like, oh, like, we have a phone, but it's getting serviced. I'm sure they'll be here tomorrow, but yeah, no, there's just no cell service here. It's all very suspicious. And that night when he's sitting in bed, he still has no cell service and his watch has stopped. And he literally says, like, am I in some kind of like Bermuda Triangle? Like, what is this? Um, there's this like cuckoo clock in the room where like smoke is kind of coming out of the top because it's kind of like a recreation of the house. And uh when he goes closer, it has like a little clay representations of the kids, which I did not clock at first. The way that it looked, I thought it was the mother and the two daughters. I did not realize it was the three kids. So then that got me thinking like,
Yeah.
oh, the mom is, I got a little bit confused, but I realized the error of my ways later. And there's also no like time on the clock. It's just like there's no hands, which is very, it's like, why is it ringing? And then he hears some arguing through the wall. It's the mom saying she can't stay here anymore. And the dad, they're just yelling at each other. It's like there's this moment where he puts his ear up to the wall, and I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for the bang. And then, of course, somebody bangs the wall. And I said out loud, I was like, I knew that was going to happen. And like he kind of wanders into the hallway and watches them argue. But then Young Hee, the middle little girl, is sleepwalking, I think. I think that's the first time he sees her sleepwalking.
Yeah. I was really confused by Young Hee and is she sleepwalking or what's going on with this little girl? But yeah, I guess so.
It's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
So he has a dream that someone has left him a note, but when he tries to retrieve it, it falls out of the window. On day 2, Yeon-soo wakes up to find the children crying. And I mean, I thought this was really well done because it's so overwhelming, the sound of them crying. Like the littlest girl, I forget her name, but she's just like I said before, she is the cutest little girl I've ever seen, but also I could see how you would get so pissed off by this kid because she's just like swailing crying, and he's feeling pretty overwhelmed. And the note says, urgent business has come up. Can you please look after the kids for a few days? Oh, brother. And the kids are crying. Man-bok looks like really dour, and he kind of blows up at the kids because they're crying so much. And he's like, can you please like be quiet? Like I'm trying to read. And if you don't, I'm going to punish you. And the kids are all like, bro, what the fuck? But I really like Yeon-soo. He immediately is like, I'm really sorry. That's not your fault. Like he realizes I was out of line. But it is a pretty scary moment when he tells them to be quiet because they all kind of look at him like, you shouldn't have done that. So he heads off for town again. He thinks he hears somebody in the forest, but can't find them. And then, of course, ends up back at the house. So he sees Young Hee drawing a picture of him in a forest surrounded by red flowers, which creeps him out, and kind of goes to grab it. But Man-bok is like, don't touch our stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now it's day 3. Yeon-soo hears noises above him. He goes to explore, and it's such a creepy scene. Like, it's one of those where he opens up the attic door, slowly lifts his head up, like turns around. And then, of course, when he makes the full revolution, there's long black hair hanging down, and he freaks out and falls back. And Man-bok comes in and says, there's no one up there, and then gives him a present. It's a map of the forest, and it's labeled The Way Out, but it's so confusing looking. Like, there's a tree. It looks like a maze.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way you could follow it. So, and I do like how we see him like slowly, like he's trying to be nice to these children, but like his patience is like really wearing thin because he just knows that they're not telling him the whole truth. So he tries to get back to his car again. It starts snowing, and he sees a couple walking. They say their car broke down and it's snowing so much, so they want to go to the house. And Yunsu says, how do you know there's a house here? Oh, well, there's Man-bok behind them. And he just kind of looks at him knowingly and he's like, Uncle, where are you going? And Yunsu is like, well, guys, like, go back the way that you came. And he like pushes past them. And the couple's just kind of like, oh, your uncle's weird. But he falls. Oh, I thought this part was so creepy. He falls, and then we see like the branches of the forest, like the ends kind of look like hands, and they just like reach toward him, and then sees a hairpin in the grass and passes out. Oh, that part got me. He gets back to the house and he just, kind of loses it at Man-bok, where he's just like, what is going on? Like, please let me go. The littlest girl, Young Soon, she's crying and says yelling is scary. So he makes nice and gives her the hairpin that he found, and she immediately perks up. And he's kind of got their goodwill again. Like, I just love this guy. I think he's a great character because he's human. He's not like, this is really upsetting him, but he also is like, what am I doing? Like, yelling at children. Like, I can't be like this. And I like that.
Yeah, me too.
The man of the couple says, this is all God's will. He is Deacon Byun. And I mean, this introduces a plot point that I'm just like not sure how I feel about. Like, he's immediately, both him and the wife are immediately like, there's something different about these two. And I do like, I know there's a lot of Christians in South Korea, and I find that it usually is ominous if they are introduced in a movie. Like, they're probably not going to be a very good character.
I mean, this guy's got like sunglasses on, and he's kind of dressed like, I don't know. He's got like a gold lame suit kind of thing going on. He just looks like a talk show host or something.
Yeah.
He just looks really like an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
And she's all done up. Like, she's got these really long fingernails, and she's got like tons of makeup and stuff. And she couldn't be less interested in these kids.
Yeah. It's all very weird. Because he also seems a little bit too happy to be there. Like, he's already fully like he it seems like this character can tell things are not as they seem and is weirdly okay with it. And it's really off-putting, I think. I was gonna say, this just reminds me of, I think one of the best parts in Lady Vengeance is when it's so good. It's when the really religious guy is giving the photos to Choi Min-sik's character, and he's like, Choi Min-sik gives him money, and he's like, thank you, like, this money will be used to serve the Lord. And Choi Min-sik just takes one bill back. That's like, God, it's so good. So it's day 4. Yunsu's fucking losing it. He finds that all the stations on the TV are the same one, and these same ones are a rabbit following this teddy bear around and just ripping its legs off or ripping its ears off. Like,
yeah, like, what is this cartoon?
They clearly just made like 2 seconds of it for this movie, and it's really like kind of amateur looking, but I love it. And every time he flips, it's just a different part, or it's like the bear facing the camera with like all of its arms and legs like ripped off. It's so scary. But then he finds one where it's like a black and white, like this family getting interviewed about Christmas, and these children talking about Santa Claus and how awesome it is. They're going to get their wishes granted. And then, we find out the TV's not plugged in. You already know it's coming, but they really...
You knew that was going to happen.
Because he just like turns, and then it just the longest shot of the winding cord, and then Um, but again, I'm into this movie. I'll say though, I was never bored. Like I was like very like I think some things I think it and I when I started watching, I thought I really don't know what's going to happen. And that's very interesting. And then immediately I got the thought, when I know what's happening, will that make it less interesting? And I think there was a bit of that. I think sometimes they revealed too much too quickly. And there's one scene in particular I'll talk about later, but I was like, man, what a missed opportunity. But so we get
there
more.
are there
Sorry.
are a lot of ideas in this film, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe too many ideas, but yeah, it's to me, I think, some of them could have been left out. It could
Yeah,
have been, yeah,
not
streamlined a
necessary.
little bit.
Oh, yeah. So Deacon Byun, as we could already tell, is a fucking creep. His wife is interested in plundering the house for jewelry. She's like looking through things, making a lot of comments like the first time we really see her in the house, she's looking at some toys. Like they kind of look like glass, like an almost like a nativity scene. And she's like, these are you guys's? Kids shouldn't play with expensive toys. Like she wants to take them all. And that's a bad idea. Yunsu tells her she won't be able to take anything from the house. He's kind of just trying to warn her, like, hey, don't piss this kid off.
Yes.
She just kind of brushes him aside, like, whatever. He finds a storybook of Hansel and Gretel, and inside the kids' faces are plastered over. Like their characters in the book are three kids. The pictures of them are taped over. And when Yunsu won't give the book back, Manbok physically heats up Yunsu's arm so much that Yunsu has to let go of the book. And then Young Hee is just like, don't make him angry. Like for your own sake, don't do that. And I really like the relationship between Young Hee and Yunsu. I thought it was pretty cute. That little girl, phenomenal actor. Like I really thought she was amazing.
Yes.
So Yunsu continues to hear noises upstairs, so he goes to investigate, and then he hears a woman crying, "Forgive me." She's turned away from him, but Yunsu realizes she's the mother, quote unquote, from the beginning. She's all disheveled and says she's not their mother. Their car just broke down, and there's no way to get out of here. She says that man also wasn't like, isn't that like he wasn't originally her husband? Like that's a different guy, or did I get confused?
No, I think that was her husband.
Oh, okay. But the kids, she doesn't know where he went.
Right.
And she says she can't escape. The attic is a maze just like the forest, and there's no way to get out. But she also doesn't want the kids to know that she's there. But somehow
That's
Yunsu,
a pretty cool shot.
yeah, like like, it's all dusty and it just kind of goes on forever.
Yes, that's really cool.
Yunsu does find a way out, like, and she kind of knows about. I don't know. It's yeah. This part is a little bit confusing because she does know of the entrance to the attic because she scared him away from it. I guess she also doesn't want the kids to find her. So does she even want to leave? It's weird.
I guess, like Unsu can't get out of the forest and she can't get out of the attic. Like if she tried, she'd just end up right back in the attic again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, they are at the will of this world. And I do like that theme overall of like adults powerless in a world of children, because being a child is so much about being powerless at the whims of adults. Like it's something we all go through of you got no agency. Like it's just whatever, even where you're born, like you never have any agency over that. And now here are some adults at the whims of children. And I think that's pretty scary because kids are irrational. And I say this with love, they are egotistical. They are like, we're all born like narcissists and stuff. And so to be at the whims of, a child that doesn't know any better, that's pretty scary. Now it's day 5. So the wife wants Jung-soon, the youngest little girl, to give her the ring she was wearing and slaps her across the face. She is wearing a necklace that does look like it has trophies of jewelry. I mean, there's a lot going on. And but this woman's like manhandling her and stuff, and it is really uncomfortable. Man-bok drops the chandelier near her and chokes her with his mind. But he stops short of killing her. And so outside, she tells her husband that the children are all devils. But he just kind of laughs it off. He's like, that was really a sight to see, you getting all emotional about those kids. And even like while she's yelling at Jung-soon, like he just kind of gets up and walks out. Like he's like, all right, I'll go. He's kind of, I think he's of the happy wife, happy life mentality. So, kind of clearly does not care about these kids if he's just going to let his wife slap a little girl across the face. So the kids are drawing pictures of there's like a woman, and Man-bok is just scribbling over the drawing, and it's the woman in the attic, and he's just putting red like all over her and just really doing it intensely. Later, Yeon-soo goes to check on her and finds that she has broken into pieces like a porcelain doll, which was very scary.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Great makeup.
Yeah, I thought their use of effects was like really good for a movie from 2007.
Yeah, I agree.
Young-soon has a stroller filled with doll heads. Creepy. And wants Yeon-soo to tell her an old story. So he tells her his own life story in the style of a fairy tale. And, basically we get some backstory about, he's got this fraught relationship with his mother. At one point, like she kind of abandoned him in a way. And so he finds it difficult to forgive her. But now his girlfriend, the princess, is going to give birth to his child, and that, he was going to see his mom when then he falls into this world and gets, rescued by fairies, but who now won't let him leave. The fairies obviously being the children. And it seems like Jung-soon and Young-hee are kind of like, they're empathizing with him a lot. They're kind of like, okay, I can see where you're coming from. But then Man-bok says that he wants the story, or says basically that the story is going to end with the prince falling in love with the fairies and never leaving them. Like, he's like, but that's how it ends, right?
Right.
So I just love that. Like, he's really trying to get sympathy, and Man-bok's just like, no, bud. So the deacon's wife has absconded with the deacon's money. Oh yes. She's gone, and Deacon Byun wants to take over the house, although Yeon-soo says they'll be trapped there forever. So Deacon Byun says if the children interfere, he'll just kill them. And I just really don't know how I feel about this character. Like, I just feel like I feel like I'm in a different movie now. Like, what would have happened in the plot if this guy had never come? Like, the whole thing would be different. And I really feel like they just did not know what to do with the idea that they had. And it just, I don't know. This guy's doing a great job, but I just wasn't into it. Yeon-soo suspects that the kids killed the original father and served him for dinner because he opens up the fridge and he sees the man's red shirt tied over a hunk of meat. And at some point you are just like, Yeon-soo, like, you're in danger, because he just goes, no, like, they're just children. Like, you've already seen him do many things. Like, he burned your hand with his mind. Like, this is not outside of the realm of possibility. Like, a woman was a doll and she died and crumbled into pieces. Like, what are we? I think they made him a little bit stupid here, and I don't think that was right. Later, Manbok's in the forest. Yeonsu follows him. He's got his breadcrumbs because Young-hee actually suggested that earlier to him. She's like, if you get lost, just bring breadcrumbs. Yeonsu hears somebody say, help me. And we see the face of the deacon's wife in the tree. That was really good. I thought that was creepy. He sees Manbok go through a portal. Inside are dust and spider webs, covered books and notebooks. And now here's what I think was a bit of a misstep is when Manbok leaves the, this doorway, we see in light that his face is old. So you already know, okay, so this is a place where like it's given away. And then we get a better scene where if we did not know that, I think it would have been a lot more effective because going in, I'm just thinking, okay, so now I already know. I know what's happening. But Yeonsu sneaks in and he, reads some of the books and notebooks. There's like a bajillion of them. He sees that the woman was turned into a doll because that's what Young-hee wanted. And, basically we can gather that these storybooks are all people that came to this house and all of their endings were, drawn in here. And I do think the children's drawings are really good. Like it's always like a horror thing of having a creepy kid's drawing, but it was done pretty well. So Young-hee sleepwalks into the portal, and I just think this scene is great. Like she's covered completely in darkness, so we just see her like shadowy form, and it's even though now I already know, okay, there's going to be a reveal where he flips on a light and we see her face is old. It still was creepy. So imagine if you didn't know that was going to happen. It would have been amazing. She says that sometimes she has a scary dream that a man keeps saying she's pretty, and that when the kids are in the portal room, everything in their imaginations comes true. And then we also know, like, we get a flashback of, she goes up to it was when the mom was turned into a doll and she wanted her to be a doll. And like that scene is pretty cool when her, like, she just, turns into ceramic and stuff. That was awesome. And Yeonsu flicks on a lighter, sees her face. She's old and she shuffles out and she says like, this is why we got rid of all the mirrors in here. And he sees a file with all the kids' names and it says class of 1971. Oh, obviously they're old. Like, why do they keep burying the lead?
I'm a little confused. Okay. So if they have to be in the room with the portal room, the notebook room, for the things in their imagination to come true, that doesn't seem accurate because Manbok is able to do whatever he's doing just by thinking it.
Yeah. And literally it shows us the flashback of her saying, I want her to be a doll, and Manbok doing it. It's like, and that's not in the room. So it's like, so there's a lot of that in this movie where you can't think too hard because you'll just get mad. We find out the deacon's is a serial child murderer. Okay, cool. I kept laughing because in the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, which I don't think I think in the original, they refer to Freddy Krueger as a filthy child murderer when they obviously wanted to say pedophile. Like they wanted that to be, but they were like, that's too far. And then in the remake, they do just say that. Like they are just like, yeah, he abused all these kids. But filthy child murderer is so funny to me. So I kept saying, I was telling the plot to Ellen, I was like, then we found out the deacon was a filthy child murderer. Byun ties up Young-soon. He's convinced the kids are devils, and he cuts Manbok on the back. It's pretty scary. Young-hee tells the story of their past. So, okay. This part, man.
This is rough.
I'm of two minds where, like, it got me. I was crying, by the end of it. And, very effective, but then at the same time, I'm like, this is torture porn. Like classic Korean emotional torture porn, and I don't like that. I don't think all of the details in here needed to exist.
Right.
Like the detail of the abusive caretaker obviously assaulting Young Hee. I thought that was like I can gather that. Like my imagination can already tell me, okay, this is not an above board place. Probably something like that's happening, but they spell it out for you. And I just think that's unnecessary.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, too much. And this is like, I think they could have had a similar backstory and it not be this fucking crazy. Like, what is even happening in this like orphanage? Like, they've got a secret basement covered in mud that they send the bad kids to, and they're like begging for food. Like, being an orphan would be sad enough, And like, if the orphanage guy was just being casually like awful to them, not like like the first scene he's feeding them gruel and they're like hurriedly eating it. This is the only food they get, so even though it's disgusting, they need it. One kid drops it and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, father. And so he's gonna take that kid away to kill him, and so Manbok is holding on and he's like, no, please. It's like so much, it's so overwhelming. And like, that's the opening, and then we get, oh, okay, he's been sexually assaulting the girls. Oh, great. That's awful. And yeah, this is the house of happy children. And then I got so confused because they kind of want you to think kind of that the guy doing it is the deacon, because sometimes they flash to him smiling and it is that actor, his like teeth. So then I was like,
the same actor, right?
Yeah. I'm like, how old is this guy? I got so confused. And I mean, in a way, I like it. They're saying it's not him. They're saying he just evokes that same thing. But even then, I feel like that's like, I don't know. I feel like this was just a bit messy. Because, okay, we've got this horrible abusive caretaker that clearly doesn't give a shit about him. So why would he even bring in Santa? Like, because this guy dressed up as Santa comes in and gives them cookies. And I mean, I thought this scene was nice. Like, it's so weird because I like in a way, I both like it and I hate it. Like, I like it, but if I think about, does it make sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. You can't have this be the worst orphanage that's ever existed on the planet Earth, and then just like, this guy's nice enough to bring in Santa sometimes. That just made no sense to me.
Well, I thought he came with the caseworker.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's probably true.
But the summary is saying that Manbok imagined him into being.
No, that can't be true.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think they were out of their minds, and he's clearly a guy in a suit, but to them, oh, this is Santa. That makes sense, but I don't, like, he was there. But Santa tells the siblings that, like, he gives them the Hansel and Gretel storybook and some cookies, and he basically says, like, hey, on Christmas, if you guys want it and believe it enough, anything can happen. And which is a crazy thing to tell orphans. Like, you don't know what their life's going to give them. So if then they're like, so I can get a parent? Like, what are you going to say? But the kids are like, anything we want. And Santa's like, yeah, sure. And then he leaves. And so then they see the friend from earlier get beaten to death. He's in like a bag, and the caretaker or the guy who runs the place is beating him with a stick. So like, why even have the orphanage? Because like, I'd get it if you were making money off the kids, but you're now ruining the merchandise. Like, what's the end goal here? I don't get it.
No, yeah.
It's just torture porn. Yeah. So yeah, he's beaten to death. They wish to stop the caretaker, only to find everybody dead. And the caretaker about to burn the bodies in the fireplace. So and I do like this scene because now we kind of have a mix of both reality in the flashback, where now Yun-soo is back because he goes, like, he's running across the forest. He happens upon this edge of like a cliff, but then he hears a scream. So now he's gone back. The deacon is like holding up the knife to his throat and he's threatening to kill him. And so now we're getting flashbacks between when the kids killed the caretaker in the oven to them standing up against the deacon. And it's really this did make me cry because like there's swirling stuff, they're all screaming, and you are like, I mean, good for them. Like, hey, if anybody deserves to die, it's this objectively evil man because you gave him no nuance. So yeah, cool, I'm okay with it. Like, because Yun-soo's even like, guys, don't do this. Like, you'll be just like him. But you're kind of like, will they? Because like, they did already put a guy in the oven, and the movie's telling us that was the right thing to do. So in this world, there are evil people that do deserve to die. Like, I'm not saying I think that, but the movie's saying that. So it's confusing. But I still was like, you know, getting emotional. So we can gather that the kids, you know, somehow created this house to be a perfect place. They still want adults in their lives, but adults keep disappointing them. So the kids use their powers to make Byun kill himself. So Yun-soo is saved. I mean, it's just a lot happening. And it's funny because, yeah, he's like, guys, don't do this. And they do it, though. Like, he does die. So, yeah. I don't know. The children ask Yun-soo to stay with them, which also did kind of get me choked up. But Yun-soo, you know, he's like, guys, like, I really want to go back to the people that I love. Like, to be without the ones you love, it will, you know, kills you inside. So like, I love you guys, but I can't be here. And offers to take them with him. And he's like, you guys need to go. You need to like live your lives. And I mean, I'm a bit, I know he's just trying to leave, but I disagree with him a little bit. I'm like, I don't think these kids can handle it. Like, they're all old now. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. And they do disagree. They're like, nah, like, adults will always be bad. But we've, you know, decided like Menbach is like basically saying like, we've already tested out so many parents. Yeah, we killed them, but it's going to end with you because we want you to stay with us. And this again got me choked up. Like, when he looks through his book at the end, it's him smiling with the rest of them. And this guy is great. And I do want this for the kids in a way. Like, I was like, how's this movie going to end? Because I kind of do want them to have some sort of happy ending. But Yun-soo is just like, no, like, you know, you're going to be just like the bad adults if you continue this, and I need to leave. So he hugs Young-hee, his favorite, and he's like, please just come with me. And she whispers like, burn the notebook, because then burn the notebook, you'll erase all your memories of us. You know, like, she just says it really fast. This again makes no sense because you can't both have the tension of him flicking the lighter and have Manbach, who can kill people with his mind, just be like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, how would he not just stop him? But anyways, he's able to burn the book. Again, I get emotional because like all the kids are standing above him as we see the fire, and they all just kind of cry and wave at him, which is pretty sad. Young-hee, this little girl is so good at crying. Like, the tears are just pouring down her face, and I thought that was really emotional. But the book burns, and he wakes up where he first met Young-hee. He walks to the road, meets the police. They tell him the tragic stories of Highway, I think it was 37, not 69.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody just played a joke on the Wikipedia. And they're amazed he survived. Now it's a year later. This is where I'm like, the movie's still going. Okay. It should have ended there. It should have ended with he's okay. You know, that's fine. But okay, we're still going. It's Christmas. He's married Hae Young. They have a baby boy. Okay, everything's great. He goes out to buy milk. He wonders if that encounter was only a dream. He's got like a notebook filled with clippings about Highway 37, clippings of the missing Byun, revealed to be a filthy, child murderer. So, okay, that was probably real. And then there's a notebook in the Christmas present pile. All the pages are blank except the last one, which this gets me choked up too. The last picture is the 3 children holding hands and smiling. So they do get a happy ending. Do they deserve it? I don't know, but I'm happy for them. They've given up. They realize they don't need outside parents to be a family. He looks out the window to the snow outside. And then we see Man-bok, Young-hee, and Young-soon. They're in like this walkway and it really struck me, this shot. I do think this shot's great because it strikes you how different their world was from the real world. Because when they're in this like street with like the street lights, it does really remind me a lot of the ending of Lady Vengeance, like the rock wall. Yeah. I wonder if it was, maybe there's just a lot of places that look like that. But I also feel like Park Chan-wook has used that street before in like a short film.
Like it.
Yeah. But they walk. And, then the picture, like the shot slows down, then it turns into a storybook, and then they're back in the woods. So I guess everybody lives happily ever after, except for all the innocent people who got killed before this.
Well, they shouldn't have been bad parents and tried to leave.
Hey, that was on them.
Too many ideas. Too many. Yeah.
Yeah, when I finished it, I kind of sighed. And Alan said, "Did you like it?" I said, "I don't know. I think I kind of liked it. I think I kind of hated it."
Yeah.
But what phobia is that? Fear of the forest, known as hylophobia, dendrophobia, or nyctohylophobia, is an intense, irrational fear of woods or trees. I feel bad for anybody who has that because I love the forest.
I do as well.
Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Tinoa gave it a half star. Promising beginning, boring in the middle, creepy at the end. A trigger warning is useful here for this last part because of child violence and abuse. I mean, if you're going into a Korean movie, expect that something like that might happen. Like, I understand, like, I guess what I'm saying is if a trigger warning is necessary for you, which that's fine if it is, look for any Korean movie because you never know. It could happen. Hannah gave it 1 star. You cannot convince me this movie was any less than 3 hours, and I do agree.
Yeah, it was real long. Yeah.
Stas gave it 1.5 star. It's evident a lot of poor choices were made at every part of this production, but giving a Korean Santa impersonator blue contacts, hard to forgive. I don't know. That didn't bother me.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Hot NK20 gave it 5 stars. An Asian twist on a classic dark fairy tale. Love this international version over the flooded market of similar titles. Recommend this highly for its original storyline and twist ending. Was it a twist ending? What's the twist? I don't like a bot wrote that.
There's about 7 twists.
Yeah. Like you can't just call a plot a twist. Like that's just the plot of the movie. Robert Lang gave it 5 stars. Pil Sung Yim's Hansel and Gretel is without a doubt one of the best South Korean horror films I've seen to date. Okay, give me a list of what you've seen, buddy, because I need to know. There's a whole world out there for you. If this is the best, what is in store for you is amazing. The very different, exciting, and mysterious take on the classic Hansel and Gretel feels like something Guillermo del Toro might have created. It's pretty much like stepping into a dark dreamland. Wonderful acting, magical environments, great cinematography, and a story that will stick with you for a long time. So if you haven't seen this one yet, it's about time you do. Well, make sure you have enough time to watch it in your day.
Have we mentioned it's 117 minutes long?
Well, how would we rate it? How about in cupcakes?
Okay, back to the beginning. I'm 3. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I might have to like retool my grading system because I liked this the first time I saw it, and I really did not like this the second time I saw it. And I was thinking like 3 is like fine, it can't hurt you, there's no racism, that kind of thing. But I want to grade this lower than a 3. So I just might have to like change my whole system. But for today, I'll just give it a 3.
I'll give it a 3 too. Like what I said to Alan right after was like, I like any movie that tries something that has, like, I don't know how many green screens were used in this, but I don't think very many. Like it was a built set. I love that. I think whatever animation was used well. It's really just the plot that leaves something to be desired. But like to me, everything else is really good. And I appreciate, I would still rather have 1 million of these movies than, don't get mad at me, but like any slop that gets made frequently. Like I would take this whole movie over a lot of recent Marvel movies I've seen. Don't hate me. It's just like, I think, it was creative and they swung for the fences. It was not a home run.
Did. No.
But I appreciate the effort. Mm-hmm. What have we learned? I don't know. Don't be, I guess the message is don't assault children, which like, okay. like appease children. Don't be a filthy child murderer. Don't assault children. Okay. Like, I don't know if we need to say these things, but heard. Would we watch it again?
No.
Probably not. Favorite scene and or kill? I like the part where everything whirls around and they scream and they put the guy in the oven. It got me. I was getting choked up. And I think the beginning is very strong. And, yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I would say the beginning when they open up the food, and they're like, oh, we eat like this sometimes. Kids like to eat this way.
You're like,
like, okay, there's something going on here. So I like that whole scene with the original mom and dad.
Yeah, same. Who wins the You Fool Award? I guess any adult who deigned to not bend to their every will.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
Ansu, but he got a pass.
Yeah. Sorry. We can move on. It's just like, does he get a pass because like he didn't was every single adult that came in here abusive in some way?
I was thinking, yeah. But the people in the beginning, they didn't seem bad. The only thing that was bad was they wanted to leave. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So no, it's not just because otherwise you're saying that almost all adults are horrible.
Like all of them. They've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. They've been at it for a while.
And
yeah.
Somehow Yunsu, who was a deadbeat, like going into this, he didn't even want to be a dad. Somehow he made it through. So, yeah, don't think too hard about this movie. Don't think.
Okay. So that was Hansel ampersand Gretel. Yesterday, I was trying to change the battery in my key fob for my car. And I had to like take the key fob apart. And then I'm trying to get the new battery like in the slot where it's supposed to go. And it's one of those lithium batteries, like a circular battery. And the YouTube people are telling me that there are these like arms that'll move inside the device. I can't find them at all. I mean, it's like teeny tiny.
Mhm.
So anyway, I'm like trying to get this thing in and I keep setting off the alarm, the car alarm outside. So I was just oh my God. But I finally got through it, but I'm like, sorry, neighbors.
It's like, I get why they have to be loud. I'm sure when you need them to, you're like, oh, thank God. But like, why do they have to be that loud?
I don't know. But I have to say, you did a really great job with Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Especially given my notes and everything like that. So
I thought they were good notes.
I salute you, Mac.
Oh,
thanks.
At ease.
Okay. All right. So this is The Ugly Stepsister. The short plot summary from IMDb says, Elvira battles against her gorgeous stepsister in a realm where beauty reigns supreme. She resorts to extreme measures to captivate the prince amid a ruthless competition for physical perfection. All right, so just apologies in advance for me butchering all this Norwegian stuff. In Norwegian, it's De Steiga Sestøsteren, directed by Emily Blickfeldt, screenplay by Emily Blickfeldt, based on Aschenputtel by the Brothers Grimm, starring Leah Marin, Thea Sophie Locknace, Anne Daltorp, Flo Fagerli, Isaac Kalmroth, Malte Gerdinger. Cinematography by Marcel Ziskind, edited by Olivia Neergaard-Holm. The release dates are the 23rd of January 2025 at Sundance, the 7th of March 2025 in Norway, and it has a running time of 109 minutes. How did you feel about this runtime, Matt?
Man. It was a lot, honestly. Like, even though it's not that long, at the 1 hour, 9 minute point, I was shocked to see how much time I had left. I was like, what? I've already gone through so much. So, WoHos, I pleaded with my mom so that she could do this one because legit, like, I felt kind of sick to my stomach afterward.
And I feel like that's the reaction of a lot of people. So I'm actually curious as to what parts exactly like made you sick, but because there's a lot. You know. This is a pretty big body horror film. And this plot summary comes from the internet. Thank you, internet. A widow, Rebecca, has two plain daughters named Elvira and Alma, which is a little harsh. I don't think they're plain.
This movie, going in, okay, I have to accept that these girls are ugly, but there's sometimes, especially when they show them like Elvira naked, that I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
This is a banging bod.
Actually, I don't think that was her bod. I think that was a body double. But whoever it was, amazing. It's supposed to be like fat and disgusting. And it's like what I wouldn't kill for that body.
It's beautiful. Like, I was like, people painted paintings of bodies like this. Like...
Yes. Sorry. She marries an older widower, Otto, who has a beautiful daughter named Agnes. And when we meet Agnes, doves fly from behind her head. Otto and Rebecca marry and blend their families, each in hopes of becoming wealthy via the other, only to find out neither family has any wealth to speak of. Agnes behaves haughtily toward her stepmother and stepsisters for their comparatively low social status.
I don't know if this is true. Like, I think at first, because like we only find out, it's actually maybe my favorite scene in the whole movie, like about the money thing later. But I think at first she's trying to be nice, and like
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty nice to Elvira, because I mean, at first Elvira, she's like kind of a little bit dotty, maybe, I don't know, she's just kind of like gawking at everything like but she's pretty nice, she's like,
She's sweet.
Yeah,
she's a very sweet girl. Alma is kind of over it, but Elvira is really into this, and yeah, she is really open-faced, open-mouthed, like wherever she goes. It's very sweet, I think. One evening during dinner with Rebecca and their 3 daughters, Otto suddenly dies. Royal heralds announce that all noble young virgins are invited to a ball where Prince Julian will choose a wife.
Wait, can I say, so the moment after he dies, when like Elvira takes food to Agnes, and you know she's kind of trying to be nice, and she's saying like, well, my dad died, my mom slept all the time too, and Agnes is like, don't compare my grief to yours, like, you know, if it weren't for your money, my dad would have never married the likes and like brought your family here. And then Elvira goes, what money? And then runs screaming, mother, they have no money. That made me laugh out loud.
That was amazing. Royal heralds announce that all noble young virgins are invited to a ball where Prince Julian will choose a wife. And we've seen or heard of Prince Julian before this. In the very, very beginning, the opening is Elvira fantasizing that she's with him, and she's reading a book of his poetry.
I was like, wow, what a prince.
Little did we know. When Elvira dreams of marrying the prince, Rebecca considers her too ugly to succeed. To improve her chances with the prince, Rebecca subjects Elvira to a series of primitive and painful cosmetic surgeries. Yeah. So this is, I couldn't really watch this part, although I did the second time. There's really nothing to see. It's off camera. But at first Elvira has braces that are being violently removed by these like medieval looking tools.
Giant pliers.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then she's getting her nose done. And this was the part that pretty much grossed me out. Because he basically just takes a chisel and hammers it into her nose.
Un, deux, trois.
Yeah, this is Dr. Aesthetique. Right?
That was so funny. I think as a person with a nose hump, you know, my heart really goes out to anybody who does not like their nose, because that's somehow like a societal thing that like just has always swooped over my head. Like, I've never had a problem with it. I think it's because I've gotten, you know, I was very, you know, I think I was fortunate to have, you know, parents who told me I was beautiful. So that was very nice. I think, you know, maybe if you don't have that, that affects you. I just remember as like a middle schooler, my teacher's girlfriend used to come in a lot. And she said to me, she was like, she like took me by the face and was like, your nose is so beautiful. If I ever learn that you get plastic surgery, I'll find you and change it back. And I remember just being like, okay, who even said anything about disliking it? Like, you brought it up. Yeah. Like, I wasn't thinking this until you said anything. Luckily that didn't really stick. And then before I went to high school, my brother kindly, quote unquote, was like, let me get out all the things people are going to make fun of you for before you get to high school, so that it doesn't bother you. And I was like, that's fine. I'm
Oh my
okay. And
God.
he was like, so they're going to say that your nose is too big. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking? And they didn't. Nobody ever did. So anyways, but
Wow.
well, that's typical older brother stuff. I was just like,
Yeah.
you're stupid. But now I've seen on social media, a lot of people talk about like hating their nose that's like this. And my heart goes out to them because I'm just like, you don't need to do it. Like it's all in your head. I think they're
Yeah.
beautiful. So I think it did not in an emotional way, but really just physical. I thought about a chisel like that on the bridge of my nose and I was like, oh God,
Ugh.
so
And he
horrible.
does it twice. So it's just, and her screams are really, really intense.
She's good at it.
I thought my nose was too big for my face, but then I saw somebody took a profile picture of me one time and it was actually like a little bit from above. And I'm like, hey, my nose looks pretty nice.
Yeah. I love it.
From certain angles, I think my nose is pretty nice. I heard your nose gets bigger as you age, though.
Luckily, okay, obviously, I'm not saying it's not good if you're a woman, but I think luckily for old men that works in their face, like society likes that.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you should have a big nose as an old man. So that'll work
Yeah.
out for me.
Elvira is also made to take finishing lessons with Agnes. During dance classes, Agnes is allowed to stand at the front of the room with the pretty girls, whereas Elvira is relegated to the back with the uglier girls. Oh God, and I love the one who kind of like smiles at her with the braces.
Me
like,
too.
Welcome.
I love the actors that they got in this movie because this is not me saying that they are ugly. Like they all like, but it's I don't know how to say this. They're not ugly, but like when the movie's painting them in such a light and then you have the more kind of like I think classically like people that you might see. I think all the actors with the exception of Agnes, they all look like real people, which I really liked. And I guess all the older women they all look like they've all had 1 million surgeries. But all the young women looked like real people you'd see. But the selection that they picked for the back, it did just make me laugh because I was like,
well, I think the dancers are dancers. So I
wow.
think they are just like people that we'd see.
Yeah.
I think that's right. I'm not sure about that. The pressure causes Elvira's initial admiration for her stepsister to turn to resentment. One of the finishing school teachers gives Elvira a tapeworm egg for weight loss. I feel like I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff, but it's really kind of a montage, right? I mean, there isn't really a lot going on at this point.
Yeah, I think it's like the movie so far is pretty vibes based. Like, you know, you're getting a lot of them at the school. There is a lot of scenes of like, I think before the tapeworm egg is the scene of like Elvira looking like she's been told to lose weight. And I could tell that they had put some prosthetics on her. Like, I didn't think those looked great.
Right.
Like, they looked really obvious.
Yeah.
And then at one point she looks in the mirror, and this is what we were referring to of just like, what they show us is the most beautiful, like just like a gorgeous body. Like, and I'm not even saying that in like an all beauty, like I do believe all bodies are beautiful. Yes. But I'm saying like societally, this is a beautiful body also.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
And then they have the actress sit all hunched over so that they can force her to have natural stomach rolls anybody gets when they sit like that, to be like, look at that fat pig. But like, I don't know. I sometimes I feel like movies are gaslighting me, and I felt like that with this movie a little bit. I was like, I got it in the beginning, like, you know, with the braces and the stupid ringlets she had. I was like, this is an ugly duckling kind of, you know, character.
Yeah.
But body wise, I was like, I don't see it.
And she's eating in secret.
Yes.
She's eating sweets in secret. And she's like keeping them in her like her desk drawers.
Like a cinnamon roll.
That's so funny to me. Yes. So then one of the teachers gives Elvira this tapeworm egg. So, and she presents it to her in this like little pill box, and it's just supposed to be this special thing. And this is a teacher that has been sticking up for her quite a lot. So she's just kind of like, well, if we can just get this weight off you, you're a beautiful girl. Agnes Agnes reprimands her stepmother for spending their remaining money on Elvira's beauty instead of paying to bury her father, whose rotting corpse is being stored in a disused room of the house.
That was pretty rough. I felt like I like Agnes's character because I do feel like she's well within her right to hate these people. You do feel for Elvira, but at the same time, that would piss me off. And
Yeah.
it's pretty gross. Well, compared to everything else, it's actually one of the least gross things in the movie. But I thought they made a good corpse out of that guy.
And Agnes goes into this room to just like cry, and then, she's like sharing the room with like maggots and flies and, yeah, her rotting dad. When Elvira encounters Prince Julian by chance in the woods, he mocks her looks and is revealed to be a shallow womanizer. That's putting it very, very lightly.
He's with these two bros and they're just like, would you rather have a virgin or, a whore? And he's like, somebody's like, I need one that's broken in. It's like so. And I like it because it's a reveal that it's the prince.
Gross.
Like, probably, okay, this is going to be the prince. But when he turns around, because it's a similar like meadow is when we first see him, like when he's shooting the arrow of love into Elvira. And now here he is clearly just like a piece of shit.
Yeah. Nice touch, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But Elvira clings to her belief that he is a good man. One night, Elvira discovers Agnes having sex with Isaac, a stable boy, and tells Rebecca. Disgusted, Rebecca throws Isaac out and makes Agnes a servant girl, and the family starts calling her Cinderella.
Were you shocked at the like erect penis in this movie? I was like, whoa! I'm cool with it. I'm not saying it shouldn't be in movies, but that might be the most like just I feel like if there's a penis even in a movie, they don't let it be like erect. But I was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like my windows were open and I was like, oh no.
Just watching Norwegian porn. It's no big deal. As you do. I think I was more shocked at the suggestion that he's fucking her in the ass.
True. Yeah.
Oh, because that was surprising.
I guess I didn't realize that because they had said she wasn't a virgin anymore.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's me. Because I thought she has to be a virgin.
Does she?
I think so. If he's fucking her in the ass, then she's not a virgin anyway. But some people think that if you don't have vaginal sex, then you're a virgin. And so maybe she and her boyfriend think that.
But like, I think somebody even says like, what kind of virgin, like, like I think Elvira was making the point she's not a virgin, so she shouldn't get to go.
Right. But I don't get why this is such a big deal. Like, I guess it's a class thing, right? So she's having sex with the help, so they have to get rid of him and, turn her into a servant girl.
And it's crazy that, like, the whole plot doesn't super make sense because if Rebecca has like legal rights to being her mom, wouldn't she rather have Agnes go and be like a shoo-in to get the prince? Like, would that not be your money anyway? And so why was she, but then if not, why was she ever allowed to go in the first place?
Yeah, she shouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't have a movie.
That's true.
As the royal ball approaches, Elvira becomes malnourished and her hair starts falling out in clumps due to the tapeworm. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. And like Agnes gives her a little comment of just like, because she's using her hairbrush, she's like, this is my hairbrush. And it seems like you won't need it anymore anyway.
But Agnes is pretty nice to her in the bathtub, right? Like she brings her food and...
I really don't get how we're supposed to feel about Agnes. Because like, I think she pities her in a way, but then Elvira just is kind of growing into more of a detestable person. Because she's like, feed me. Okay, now read to me. Like...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what's happening. It's not that Agnes is being nice. She's being forced to do these things.
Yeah, I think she's really resentful.
Yes. Meanwhile, Alma has her first period, but does not tell her mother for fear she will be subjected to the same horrors as Elvira. Rebecca also has Agnes pulled from finishing school, leaving no one in the starring role for the dance the school will perform at the ball. Due to her changed appearance after the weight loss and cosmetic surgeries, Elvira is given the role.
Did you notice the like implication that the two ladies running the finishing school were like dating?
Yeah, I kind of got that.
It's just like random.
Yeah. During a dress fitting with her mother, the dress merchant provides Elvira with a fancy ball gown and a blonde wig to hide her hair loss. He notices Agnes's beauty and makes inappropriate advances on her. Elvira later sees Agnes with a ball gown that belonged to Agnes's late mother and angrily destroys it. Agnes cries over her father's corpse. She then has a vision of her mother, who gives her a beautiful pair of shoes and warns her that the carriage will turn back into a pumpkin by midnight. Silkworms on her father's body fix Agnes's torn gown.
I loved that.
I did too.
That was so cute.
That was really nice. No, I heard somebody who was reviewing this movie really hated this part. He's like, there's been no magic up to this point. So what the heck is this mother coming in? But that's what the story is.
I mean, like, it's literally like, how do you not have the mother?
Yeah.
Or like, I think it's a better touch that it was her actual mother and not a fairy godmother. Like, I thought that was a nice little spin. I mean, I don't know if that's what the original plot is, but I was just thinking of the Disney version. Like, I like that there was no, I don't know. You already expect it to happen. So like,
I think it is the original version. And I think there's something about her tears that maybe like cause the mother to appear or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I liked it too. And I don't care if magic is suddenly a thing.
It's already not a real world. Like, this is not based in historical fiction. It's not historical fiction. So
well, no, I think he has a point. He's like, if we had had a little magic before this, okay, that kind of makes sense. But it didn't bother me.
Oh, we skipped one thing, and it was one thing I could not watch. When Elvira goes back to the Dr. Aesthetic and gets the eyelashes, I actually had to skip that. Like, I couldn't do it. It was like the needle going close to the eye. Oh no, I like gave me chills. Like I couldn't do it. It scared me.
Oh, well, you were wise to skip that part because it is like super gross and it goes on for quite a while.
That's the thing is, like, at least with the Substance, I feel like a lot of the body horror was like, you have one moment where you go, oh, but then it's over. But this one, they were like, you know, and I already know it's gross.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 stitches at least. That see,
God.
So, yeah. At the ball, Elvira attracts Prince Julian's interest, but his attention is quickly stolen by a veiled Agnes who arrives late. Elvira flees to another room and vomits up tapeworm eggs.
Disgusting. God, I can't take puke. Like, I'm
either.
yeah, I don't have a metaphobia, but like I mean, this is better than the later puking scene, I will say. But um
Yes.
God, her mother. You know what I was thinking? If they were to remake this movie with like an English speaking cast, Nicole Kidman as Rebecca, Mia Goth as Elvira.
That would be nice.
I don't know about anybody else, but those two.
But yeah, so she pukes up eggs, plural, like maybe 30 of them. It's didn't like it. Rebecca forces her to go back to the ball and dance with other men, during which Elvira sees Agnes without the veil. That was kind of a nice scene. They both are being like dipped, and they like see each other like kind of upside down.
And that I like this. The song too is pretty intense.
Agnes hears the clock chiming midnight and runs away, leaving one shoe behind. Prince Julian declares he will marry the woman whose foot fits the shoe. Back home, aware that Agnes left behind a slipper, Elvira attacks Agnes with a butcher knife and forces her to hand over the other shoe. When she discovers that her feet are too large for the slippers, Elvira attempts to sever her toes using the same knife.
You know it's coming. Like, I feel like if you know, this is such a like fun fact everybody learns of like, did you know in the original Cinderella, she actually cuts off her toe? So, and they show it in like the cover of the movie. They got the foot. Yes. So you're waiting for it. I do think this was done. I think the gore, it was a little bit too much for me, but I did like the shot of her just sitting like kind of pouting with the shoe so clearly so small over her foot. And then we see her kind of like hairy legs and stuff. I thought all that was very evocative to me. I thought it was really good. And we just see her like mind working. But the gore, it was just like, I was yelling. I was like, oh no, 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 no. And poor Alma, like she's kind of going through it too, seeing this happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like one chop and it's over. I'll just say that. Did you watch this part?
I did. Actually, this one I made it through. I felt like I had to. But they really zoom in close. They really were like, you're going to see this. And it went on for a while. But this one, I don't mind it going on for a while because it's so iconic that you kind of have to.
She is found by Rebecca and Alma. Rebecca coldly notes that Elvira attempted to mutilate the wrong foot. Alma is horrified when Rebecca sedates Elvira and mutilates the correct foot.
Oh.
The next morning, Elvira hears trumpets announcing the prince's arrival. She crawls on the floor, unable to walk, then falls down a flight of stairs, breaking her nose and chipping her teeth, only to find that the prince and Agnes have already found each other.
This also was a little bit, it was just so, you feel her pain, like her feet are bloody, like the tooth, the nose, she's moaning, she falls down the whole stairs. Like I was getting overwhelmed at this point.
You're like, please end, please end.
Yes.
Defeated, Elvira listens to Alma, takes an antidote, and vomits up an enormous tapeworm.
I skipped this part.
Oh my God. This goes on for a while.
At first I was like, I can watch it. And then I was like, no, I have to. And then when I kept flipping through, I was like, it's so long. Thank God I skipped it. Because vomits up is not even what happens. Oh God. So much more happens than that.
Well, all I'll say is that Alma basically pulls the tapeworm out of her sister's mouth. The sisters steal their mother's jewelry and leave so they can live free from her influence, while Rebecca fillets a nobleman whose attention she stole from Elvira at the ball. In a post-credit scene, Otto's rotting corpse remains forgotten in the same room.
I'm glad that everybody, except for Rebecca, I guess, kind of got, and Otto, kind of got a good ending. Like the sisters, that was pretty like empowering. And I liked that Elvira, like the kind of message of how she looks so much worse at the end than she did at the beginning. But
Yes.
at least she's alive and she's free. And because this kind of has always been my fear of any cosmetic procedure, is that the fear to me is that you spend all that money, you go through all that pain, and then you regret it and you somehow feel like you look worse than you did going in. And that to me, that must feel horrible. My heart goes out to anybody who's experienced that. Like there's some things I didn't love about there's like some things I didn't super love about my top surgery, like just some like scar tissue and stuff, but like not enough. Like I still don't regret it. I'm still glad with how it turned out. But I know some people who've gotten it, they really kind of get botched, and like I can't even imagine what that's like.
With face stuff, I love botched stuff.
I love looking at it.
I feel like it's like how I love hearing people fight in public. Oh my God, I love it so much. That's like free TV.
It is
the best entertainment. I love it. The Ugly Stepsister is the feature-length directorial debut of Norwegian filmmaker Emily Blichfeldt, who also wrote the screenplay. Before this film, Blichfeldt's work included the shorts and festival of projects, but this is her first full-length narrative cinema release. Writer and director Emily Blichfeldt began developing The Ugly Stepsister while working on her thesis project at Norwegian Film School. Is that the name of the school?
There's just one.
Initially following a woman with a talking vulva that tells her she's lonely, Blichfeldt took influence from Aschenputtel, the Brother Grimm's version of the Cinderella story, and reimagined the character to be one of Cinderella's stepsisters cutting off her toes to fit the glass slipper. She was unfamiliar with the body horror genre until she watched David Cronenberg's 1996 film Crash in 2015, which led her to a deep dive into anything Cronenberg, and discovering the filmographies of Italian film directors Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci. Their films, along with Julia Ducournau's Raw, led her to utilize body horror for the film. The script was informed by Blichfeldt's own struggles with body image, which she intended to provoke both empathy and discomfort and inspire the film's audience to reflect upon their perceptions of and relationship to beauty.
I mean, I think I'm just weak. Like, I liked it, but also it still kind of makes my tummy hurt to think about it. Like it was a rough watch.
It's an experience. Yeah, definitely. I was telling Mac, like, it didn't affect me at all. I won't say it didn't affect me at all. I mean, especially the vomiting stuff. I like can't stand that anyway in the best of the best of situations. I really hate it when it's a jump scare in a movie. But yeah, the eye stuff was gross. It's all gross, but it didn't have any lasting effects from it, I guess.
I'm glad.
Briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Ash gave it 5 stars. Honestly disgusting. Literally made me gag. I'm being heard for Halloween. Rewatched by Asinka, who gave it 5 stars. Watched with my dad, and he didn't like it. Men. And then she has a coffee cup emoji.
I'm trying to remember what meme that is. It's like there's like a meme of like Kermit the Frog drinking coffee, and I don't know. Hold on. Keep going. I'll tell you.
All right. P. Bossino gave it 5 stars. Oh boy, they didn't hold back on this one. It's a beautiful film, which is crazy jarring when it gets to the climax. But honestly, it's such a great tone change. A Cinderella story the horror world deserves. And Littlekind gave it 1/2 star. Why? Isabella gave it a 1/2 star. I had to look away the entire time. Catastrophe gave it a 1/2 star. Shit from a butt. Then the naked scenes made it worse. This is the type of movie that you only watch snippets of on TikTok.
Okay, the meme is Kermit the Frog drinking coffee. There'll be top text, and the bottom text will be like, but that's none of my business. So maybe that's what they're saying.
Okay. Oh.
Could be. I'm trying to decipher.
Maybe. Well, how would we rate it? Why don't we rate it in slippers?
Like, maybe not everything is for me. 3.5.
Okay. I would give it 4.25.
And
I think darn good.
I think that's totally valid. Like, it's one of those where I think it's a good movie, but I don't think I liked it.
Yeah. What have we learned? Well,
beauty's pain.
Beauty's pain. It is true. It's not true. That's what this movie says.
Yes. And it's tough because in their world, it probably would behoove you to be more beautiful. So I can't even say that they were like, you know, they had to kind of commit a crime to free themselves from the heel of their mom. But in our modern world, I would urge everybody to know that there's somebody for everybody. And I feel like I'm not against cosmetic procedures at all. That would be pretty hypocritical. But I would urge you to make a decision based on, if there were nobody else in the world, would this still make you feel more yourself, or is it only to do it for other people or what you think other people want from you?
Mm-hmm. Would we watch it again?
For me, no.
Do you have a favorite scene, Mac?
Yes, when she said, "Mom, they have no money." That was so funny. How about you?
There is one scene we didn't talk about, and it's basically where Alma, it's revealed that Elvira is going to take the tapeworm egg. Mm-hmm. And Alma is like, "You're crazy," and leaves Elvira in the forest.
I like that.
I just love that. Yeah.
She like takes the horse too.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess Elvira has to walk back. Who wins the You Fool Award?
Gotta be Elvira, right?
Mom.
Oh, the mom.
Oh.
I mean, Elvira took the tapeworm and the mom didn't even know that. So.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's a better case. I think the mom is just trying to get by. It's just she's getting by in this like really disgusting way.
Yeah. But I guess it was a way to hustle. It still is for some. And more of a reflection of the society they live in. Now, don't treat your children like that at all. But she's not doing it for the love of the game. It's like there's a goal in mind.
Yeah. Well, not really the love of the game at the end, though, but she's just looking out for herself.
That is true. She's like, you had your chance.
Well, thank you. Yeah. you blew it. Sorry. As she's blowing a guy. Okay. Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about Hansel and Gretel and the ugly stepsister. And thank you, WoHos, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us truly. We appreciate you downloading the show and telling all your friends all about us. Next time, we will be looking at zombie movies with Dead and Buried and Mac. Would you like an Italian zombie one? An Italian zombie movie or one from France or the UK?
Oh, gosh. How about French?
Okay, so we will be watching The Night Eats the World.
Ooh.
Remember, WoHos, we love you, and don't go into the basement or the attic.
Yippee!